The October night was colder than usual as Emily drove toward the small suburban home where her niece, Olivia's birthday party was being held. Halloween decorations glittered across lawns, glowing pumpkins watching from porches like silent guards. Emily had flown across the country to surprise the family, excited to see Olivia turn 8. But a strange heaviness pressed on her chest as she neared the house, something she couldn't explain. The house looked normal at first, balloons tied to the mailbox, colorful lights blinking beneath the roof. But as Emily parked, she noticed the front window curtains fluttering even though no wind touched them. They moved in a slow, rhythmic way, almost like breathing. She blinked, but the movement stopped instantly, leaving the window still and dark. Inside, the party seemed innocent. Kids wearing costumes, adults chatting, gifts stacked on a table. Olivia ran to Emily, hugging her tightly while wearing a sparkly blue dress and a tiny plastic crown. Her smile was bright, but her eyes darted toward the hallway as if she expected something. Emily brushed it off, assuming kids were just excitable on birthdays. During cake time, the lights flickered twice. Parents laughed it off, blaming the old wiring in the house. But the children fell silent. Their eyes all turned toward the dark staircase at the end of the room. Emily felt a sharp chill creep up her neck without knowing why. "Mommy said I can make a special birthday wish when blowing the candles," Olivia whispered to Emily. Her voice trembled as though the wish frightened her. Before Emily could ask more, the candles lit themselves, flames rising in thin, unnatural spirals. Gasps rippled through the room, but nobody moved to blow them out. Olivia leaned forward and whispered her wish so quietly only Emily could hear. "I wish the lady upstairs would go away." Emily stared, confused, but Olivia's eyes remained fixed on the staircase. Then she blew out the candles, and every light in the house shut off at once. Children screamed while adults fumbled with phones, but the darkness felt thicker than normal. It wasn't just the absence of light, it felt alive, pressing in on their skin. A slow creaking sounded from upstairs, followed by footsteps that weren't running or walking. They dragged, long and heavy, like someone pulling dead weight. The lights returned with a violent snap, and everyone froze. A tall shadow stood at the top of the stairs, stretched unnaturally long across the wall. The shape was unmistakably human, but its head was tilted at an impossible angle. Emily felt her stomach drop as Olivia whispered, "She heard my wish." The adults exchanged uneasy glances, unsure whether they'd seen a trick of the light. But the shadow didn't vanish, it twitched, jerking as though something inside it struggled to move. Children clung to their parents, some beginning to cry softly. Emily stepped forward instinctively, shielding Olivia behind her. A cold breeze leaked down the staircase, carrying the faint smell of old perfume. It reminded Emily of antique stores and forgotten closets, thick with dust and memories. The shadow twisted as a brittle voice drifted down the stairs. "Where is my birthday girl?" One of the dads, Mark, tried to act brave and took a step toward the staircase. "It's probably a prank," he said, though his voice cracked as he spoke. He reached for the railing but jerked back with a yell as something icy touched his hand. A pale, bony arm had slid between the bars, grasping at him. The crowd scattered, knocking over decorations and plastic cups as panic erupted. Kids huddled under tables while adults pushed toward the exit. But the front door slammed shut on its own, locking with a metallic click. Emily grabbed Olivia's hand, pulling her close as the shadow grew larger. The figure descended the stairs slowly, every step echoing through the silent room. Her body was twisted, limbs moving in angles that defied bone structure. A torn birthday sash hung across her faded dress, stained and yellowed with age. Her face was hidden behind matted black hair that moved like it had a life of its own. Olivia trembled violently, burying her face into Emily's side. "That's the lady," she whispered, voice cracking with fear. "I saw her last night watching me from the hallway, but Mommy said it was a dream." Emily felt her heart pound as the woman lifted her head. Her face was hollow and stretched, skin pulled tight over bone. Two black, bottomless sockets stared out, dripping slow tears of thick, ink-like fluid. Her mouth opened, revealing a row of jagged, broken teeth that clicked against each other. "You blew out the candles," she croaked, "so I came." The woman floated toward Olivia, ignoring the adults frozen in terror. Emily stepped in front of her niece, voice shaking. "What do you want from her?" she demanded, though fear crushed her chest. The woman's smile grew unnaturally wide as she whispered, "To finish my birthday." Emily grabbed Olivia and ran toward the back door, but it slammed shut like the front one. Windows rattled, locking themselves as though the house obeyed the ghostly intruder. The lights flickered again, turning everything into jerky flashes of movement. Each time the light blinked on, the woman appeared closer. The party guests scattered throughout the house, searching for anything that could break a window. But every object bounced back as if hitting solid stone. Emily forced herself to think clearly, despite fear clawing at her mind. Something about the ghost felt tied to the birthday theme itself. Emily spotted the old, dusty photo on the wall, a birthday picture from decades earlier. A girl wearing the same faded dress and sash smiled eerily from the frame. Her eyes, even in the photo, looked hollow and lifeless. The date scribbled at the bottom read, October 31st, 1966. She never got to finish her party, Emily realized, voice trembling. The ghost hovered near Olivia, reaching out with long skeletal fingers. Her presence filled the air with cold, suffocating dread. Emily grabbed the framed photo and held it up toward the spirit. "You're her!" she shouted. The spirit froze, twitching as if wrestling with forgotten memories. Her head tilted slowly as she stared at the photograph. The inky tears streaming from her empty sockets thickened into black trails. Emily pushed forward, her voice gaining strength. "Your party is over. It ended a long time ago." The ghost's hands trembled, pieces of her form flickering like static. Children peeked from behind furniture as the air shifted around them. A low moan escaped the ghost as she lifted her hands toward the ceiling. Streamers and balloons deflated instantly, collapsing around her. The cake on the table melted into a pool of dark slime. The decorations dissolved, aging rapidly into dust. The woman slowly turned toward Olivia and Emily one last time. Her form began breaking apart like ashes caught in a breeze. "Thank you for remembering my birthday," she whispered. Then her body scattered into the air, disappearing completely. The lights steadied, windows unlocked, and the door swung open with a quiet sigh. Parents rushed outside with their children, shaken but unharmed. Emily held Olivia tightly as they stepped into the cold Halloween night. The house behind them creaked, as if relieved. Olivia looked up at Emily, eyes still wet with fear. "Will she come back next year?" she asked softly. Emily squeezed her hand, guiding her toward the car. "Not if we never celebrate here again," she whispered.